All right, what's going on, guys? Just going to do a walkthrough of my post 5 successful hobby blogs that make money. All right, so just a little heads up. This post may contain affiliate links. Please read our disclosure for more info. I'll link the disclosure down in the description. All right, so 5 successful hobby blogs that make money. The owners of these blogs, where are they now? These guys made a living plus much more from sharing with people something that they love to do themselves. All right, so we go here. It's almost like they just realised that if a few people have the same thing in common with them, then how many more people would love to learn about it or do it themselves? So when I discovered blogging about 10 months ago, I knew blogging existed more than 10 months ago. Like I knew it existed years ago, but I just discovered that a lot of people were making money from it once I started doing some research on YouTube. So I was skeptical and did some research, found that a blog about beards was grossing more than 10K per month. So the 10K per month thing gets thrown around a lot. But these days, the more I learn is that, the 10K a month thing is like a kicking off point, sort of where people start doing their income reports. So that's what, you'll see that get thrown around a lot. So the big five, or my big five. So this is just a list of 5 of the, of blogs that started out as hobby blogs that have been transformed into small empires. So there's probably more out there that I haven't come across yet or I've just forgotten about, but this is the 5 that I'm most interested in at the moment. So Perez Hilton, didn't even really know he was a blogger, but obviously seen him on TV a lot. So so it turns out his real name is Mario. He was quoted as saying in an interview that he started his blog as a hobby, writing online diaries and journals about celebrities. It really took off for him. He did very well, got a lot of traffic. He picked up a job as a media assistant and just made his way through the entertainment industry, running his blog alongside the whole time, making money from the media and gossip outlets. As of 2018, his net worth is about $30 million, and there isn't much in the Hollywood entertainment industry he hasn't touched in some way. So he just started writing one day about what he loved and basically filled a gap of information no one knew was missing, including himself. So it's a pretty large empire considering it started as a hobby, just writing about celebrities. Alborz Falar, he started caradvice.com. So back in 2006, he registered a domain, caradvice.com.au. So that's an Australian domain name. So something that was already being done by some of the biggest media outlets in the world was reviewing cars. So how did his little blog make it to the top? He basically made it to the top of Google search. So the reason for that was he just did it better and more importantly faster. The big media outlets would take the best part of a week to get a review done, whereas he got it done in 24 hours, basically how he made it to the top, Google search. Producing content consistently is a huge thing when it comes to that. So the blog made most of its money out of selling ad space, and with a turnover around $7 million a year, that is a ton of traffic. To make that much money out of selling ad space is, that's a lot of traffic. So that domain name he purchased cost him around $35, and he's just recently sold the business to a media outlet for $35 million. Not a bad return on investment for a hobby blog. So Timothy Ferriss, the 4-hour blog. Timothy Ferriss didn't necessarily start out as a hobby blogger necessarily, but we may as well call it a hobby these days because he's got so much else going on, but he still runs his blog. So the reason for including him is, like his blog or website is more like a brand for him. He got started just like most successful people do, basically realised how much more he could be doing with his time. So while working in a data storage company in the early days, he started Brain Quicken, and basically went on to become a master of anti-time wasting and outsourcing, which, outsourcing was a huge part of his success. He was able to free up his time to start investing his time and money into more money-making ideas. So that 4-hour work week is basically about when he started Brain Quicken and basically how he outsourced everything to become so successful. So where is he now? He's now an angel investor, advisor to startups. You may know a few startups he's been part of, which is Evernote, Shopify, Uber. There's a few more, but I'm not going to list them all. I'm not going to list everything he's done either because there's just too much. Good way to get to be part of it is subscribe to his 5 Bullet Fridays. It's pretty cool. You get emails on Fridays. what he's learning and what he's enjoying for the week. So I just wanted to include him because he's a good example of what can be achieved with a blog, and also how important his blog still is, even though he has a net worth of 100 million. So that's why it's important to understand your why and have a plan for success, because that's, like I said, outsourcing and having a plan for what he wanted to do was, is what was important to his success. So learning herbs, John Gallagher, he started his blog. He's a good example of how, he's a perfect example of how you can make money online using your hobby or your day job as your basis. He started his blog writing about weeds that grow in our lawns and gardens. Turns out household weeds we all grow are actually very useful herbs that can be used to make remedial teas and other medicines. Not exactly sure what the turnover is of his blog at the moment, but read a while ago it was about 10K a month. Like I said, it gets thrown around a lot. But if you have a look at his website, you can see that he's got a whole staff now, and so he's going to be paying them people some money. So I'm assuming it's well over 10K a month now. Once again, guys, the point I'm trying to make is that you really don't have to stretch yourself too far for a profitable niche. I mean, this guy makes money out of weeds. All right, Doug the Pug doesn't get much more hobby blog than a dog blog. So these are the first kind of blogs I heard about back in the day, probably around 2006, 2007 mark. When I thought a blog was just people, talking about themselves and their travels or their dogs, and just general lifestyle type stuff. I didn't realize at that point that blogs were big money makers. So check out dougpug.com. It's more like a blog and e-commerce store. So if you've read any of my other posts, you'll have probably noticed that I mentioned online business. Like I just bundle it in, the whole e-commerce blog thing as an online business, because it's sort of what it is. Doug the Pug is a good example of this, like a blog / e-commerce store, online business in brackets. So this blog grosses, or e-commerce store, online business, grosses over $1 million each year, pretty much just selling pug stuff, dog-related merchandise, even people stuff like t-shirts. This isn't actually Doug the Pug, this is just a picture I found. But yeah, Doug's actually quite a celebrity. So the most important ingredient of all, these 5 little blogging empires that I mentioned was their blogs themselves. It's actually the basis of all their businesses. All right, so a little bit about my story. I didn't start this blog to blog about blogging. I started because of my experience so far. I've realised that, blogging is a good basis for an online business, and just all the change that I've experienced in my short career, I sort of want to set myself up with something that I can change with the times. So go ahead and read all this stuff if you want to. But basically, what I want to teach people is don't be scared into thinking you have to hold on to your career path for dear life. There is other opportunities out there, and this is what I mean about all the changes that we're seeing in our economies and all that sort of stuff. Is take it as an opportunity to get out there and make something for yourself. So I started this blog to teach you. I want to teach people to stop trading their best hours of the day for a prescribed amount of money. Like I'm doing this alongside my day job. I work an average of 50 hours a week, and I travel 1,600 kilometers in a plane to do it. But I'm also able to run my online business while doing that. It's totally doable. So basically, the reason I'm able to do that is because I've taken a shortcut. Basically, I've paid for a lot of online courses. Well, so it's not really a shortcut. I've paid to learn how to do it, and honestly, it's the best way to get ahead. You can find information yourself online. You'll spend months trying to do it. Basically, you've just got to go ahead and get yourself a course. So go and check out Build and Launch Your Blog e-course. So I'll link that blog, that e-course in the description. All right, cheers, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All the info, all the links will be down in the description.